My adventurous and optimistic Sagittarius friend. Hello and welcome. My name is Mina, and I'm here to offer you a 3-card reading exploring the themes of you, your path, and your potential. I invite you to consider what the reading reveals about possible challenges, opportunities, and personal growth for the week ahead. Take a deep breath, rest your mind, and let's see what the cards have to share with you today. Sagittarius, there's a restlessness beneath your surface this week, a subtle ache that pulses in the quiet moments. Maybe you find yourself glancing back at what's already happened, feeling the weight of what didn't go as you'd hoped. It's not regret exactly, but a wistful tension, a sense that something meaningful was lost or left unfinished. You might notice small silences growing between conversations, or the way your thoughts linger just a bit longer than usual on moments you wish you could change. Even your usual optimism seems dimmed, colored by a tenderness for what's past. It's as if you're standing at a crossroads, one foot still anchored in what was, the other hesitating to step forward. This isn't about dramatic heartbreak or grand mistakes. It's softer, more private. There's a longing here, a quiet question. Is it possible to move forward without leaving something precious behind? The 5 of Cups holds up a gentle mirror to this feeling. It catches those private moments where your eyes drift to the past, focusing on what slipped through your fingers. It's an ache that doesn't ask for attention but shows up in the way you move through your day, a heaviness in your chest, a pause before you answer, the way you replay a conversation in your mind. You know, on some level, there are things you can't change, yet the heart still circles back, seeking meaning in what's been lost. There's a sense this week that even small disappointments feel bigger, as if each one is tied to a larger thread of longing. Perhaps you notice yourself hesitating before reaching out, or pulling back just as you start to open up. This isn't about dwelling or wallowing. It's about the genuine human wish that things could have gone differently, that some connection might have lasted longer or felt deeper. There's also a hint of frustration. Why can't you just let go? Why does your mind keep returning to the same scene, the same words? Beneath all of this, there's a quiet strength. You're not running from what you feel. You're sitting with it, even if it stings. In the midst of this, you might feel more alone than usual, as if nobody else could quite understand the weight you're carrying. But this solitude isn't empty. It's a space where your true feelings are allowed to breathe. It's where you gather yourself, even as you mourn what's gone. This week you may notice how much you care, about people, about moments, about the simple things that make life meaningful. That caring is the seed of healing, even if you can't see it yet. In these quiet hours, your resilience is building gently under the surface. When you sit with these feelings, something subtle begins to shift. The ache of loss doesn't vanish, but it changes shape, showing you what really matters. This inward reflection, the willingness to feel what hurts, naturally sets the stage for change. When you recognize what you've been carrying, you can start to see what still calls to you from beyond the past. The pull of longing becomes a gentle push towards something new, even if you're not sure what that is yet. Your emotions, once held close, begin to ripple outward, touching the choices that lie ahead. The path forward emerges not in spite of your feelings, but because you've acknowledged them. This is the beginning of movement, slow but real, from the weight of what was to the possibility of what could be. The current of the week gathers strength in judgment. The atmosphere around you feels charged, as if the air itself is humming with the need for renewal. Circumstances nudge you, sometimes uncomfortably, to reconsider where you stand and what you're willing to carry forward. Maybe it's a conversation that stirs up old memories, or a new opportunity that forces you to weigh what you truly want. There's a pressure here, not from outside demands, but from your own inner compass. You sense that something is coming to a head. Patterns you've repeated are suddenly visible, almost glaring in their clarity. It's as if the world is asking, what are you ready to leave behind and what do you want to reclaim? This isn't a simple choice. There's friction, a push and pull between comfort and growth. The past calls out, tempting you to stay with what's familiar even if it no longer fits. At the same time, your spirit yearns for something more, a fresh start, a clean page. The momentum of the week urges you to answer this call, not through grand gestures, but through honest reckoning. Old stories demand to be rewritten. You may feel the urge to reach out, to explain, to seek clarity or closure, or perhaps you sense a need to forgive yourself for what you couldn't control. The pressure isn't about being perfect. It's about being real, about listening to the quiet voice inside that knows what's true. Events may conspire to bring buried feelings to the surface, asking you to look them in the eye. There's a sense of being summoned, not just by circumstances, but by your own longing to live more honestly. This week, the friction is a sign that you're on the edge of something important. The discomfort isn't a punishment. It's a signpost pointing you toward a deeper alignment with yourself. Yet the possibility this week isn't automatic. It opens only when you meet the moment with steady awareness. If you try to rush past the discomfort or numb yourself to the pressure, the door to growth stays closed. But if you stand still, even for a breath, and let yourself feel both the ache and the pull toward change, something opens. Your potential is not a destination, but a living choice unfolding with each conscious step you take. The Queen of Pentacles embodies what can flourish when you bring presence to the week's tensions. There is an invitation here, a chance to ground yourself, to tend to your own needs with the same care you offer others. This isn't about escaping into busyness or distracting yourself with plans. Instead, it's about recognizing the quiet abundance you already hold. Even in the midst of uncertainty, you may find yourself reaching for simple comforts, a favorite meal, a walk in the fresh air, the steadying rhythm of daily rituals. These are not just distractions, they are ways your spirit roots itself, drawing nourishment from what's real and tangible. Growth emerges not as a dramatic breakthrough, but as a gentle return to what stabilizes you. You're invited to notice where you already have enough, where your efforts have created small pockets of peace or security. There's a quiet confidence in tending to the present moment, in trusting that what you nurture now will carry you forward. This week, the possibility is to reconnect with your own groundedness, to discover that even as things change, you remain steady at your core. The invitation is to let self-compassion guide you, to honor both your longing and your resilience. In this space, you create the conditions for healing, not by force but by presence. The Queen of Pentacles is not about solving every problem. She's about creating a home within yourself, a safe place from which new growth can emerge, slowly and surely. These threads weave together into a single tapestry. The ache of the Five of Cups reminds you what it means to care deeply, to feel loss without turning away. Judgment calls you to see where you've been and to ask with honesty what you're ready to change. The Queen of Pentacles offers the reassurance that you are capable of meeting this moment with kindness, both to yourself and to those around you. There's no need to rush. Healing is not a race. By letting yourself feel, reflect, and ground, you create a space where new possibilities can quietly take root. All the while, your spirit remains unbroken, adaptable, wise, and quietly hopeful. Even as the week stirs old stories and invites new choices, you are not alone. The quiet strength you build now will sustain you, one gentle day at a time. What matters most is not the speed of your progress, but the honesty with which you show up for yourself. In this there is real resolution. In your willingness to feel, to reckon, and to nurture, you become the steady center in a changing world. Actionable insights for Sagittarius this week. Let yourself pause and notice where your thoughts drift when you're alone. Try tending to something simple today, like preparing a comforting meal or spending a few minutes in a space that feels safe. If a familiar ache arises, See what it feels like to sit with it for a moment rather than pushing it away. Spoken word affirmations to repeat aloud for a more positive mindset. I let myself feel what's true without rushing away. I honor what I miss and what I still have. Each quiet moment is a chance to start again. I am steady, rooted, and ready for what comes next. And now, dear friend, I thank you for giving me your time. I truly hope I have given you something helpful in return. Goodbye and good luck until next time.